In this section, learn about highlighting and tracing signals. When we have a program with a lot of signals, it is often necessary to trace the signals when troubleshooting. There are two ways that we can trace signals through the program code. The first method is called show routing, and the shortcut is F2 on your keyboard. We will expand the X panel and open the Volume button Smart Object. In this case, we want to find all the places where volume.mute appears. We can right-click on the signal name and select Show Routings, or press the F2 key on the keyboard while the signal is selected. The dialog that appears will show, in the driving source part, where the signal name originates, and the lower box, Signal Routing, will show where the signal name goes to. Notice that in the top, or driving source portion, there is an arrow pointing to the symbol where we initially clicked on the signal name. Now that we know where the signal goes, we can look for that symbol in the program view, or take advantage of another function within the Show Routings pop-up. We can double-click on the symbol in the signal routing area to open the symbol in the detail view. This also works in reverse. This time, open the Volume Mute Cancel or symbol. Suppose we want to know where the volume.preset.to signal is coming from. We can do the same process by clicking on the signal name and pressing F2. This time, the arrow is in the signal routing section pointing to the OR, since that is where we are tracing from. The driving source selection shows us where the signal originated from. In addition, the signal routing section also shows that the signal goes to an analog preset. If we double-click on it, the symbol will open in the detail view. Show routing works on all signal types. For example, if we want to trace the volume.level analog signal, we should click on the signal on the analog increment and press F2, or right-click and select Show Routings. This signal has multiple driving sources, making it a jammed signal. The arrow indicates where we started as well as the other driving sources, the analog presets. In the signal routing section, we can see where the signal is routed: analog increment, analog equate, X panel, and a DMRMC 200C. If we double-click on any of these, that symbol will be opened. We can open the X panel and switch to the Serial tab so that we can show the routing for a serial signal. We can right-click on the sources.preview.txt signal to show its routings. The driving sources section shows where the signal originates, and the signal routing shows the X panel where we initiated the routing trace. We can double-click on the SIO and it will open. The other option to trace is to use the Highlight Routings or F3 key. This works a little differently than the Show Routings we just looked at. F3 will highlight the selected signal anywhere on the open symbols in the detail view where it appears. For example, if we look at the volume.level signal, we already know it appears on a few symbols. We can open those symbols now. If we right-click on the volume.level signal on any of these symbols and select Highlight Routings, it will highlight where that signal appears on the symbols that are now open in the detail view. Unlike the Show Routings or F2, the Highlight Routings can only look at the open symbols. To turn off the highlighted routes, press F3 a second time.